put on full display during the dominant period, from 235 to 476 AD. This was an era defined by constant crisis and a really radical transformation of how an emperor ruled.
Just get a load of this number. 26. 26 official emperors in only 50 years during what we call the crisis of the 3rd century. I mean, can you even imagine? Generals were being named emperor by their troops and then assassinated just months later. The empire was just stuck in this death spiral of civil war.
It became painfully obvious that the system Augustus had built was, well, it was completely broken. The empire was just too big, too chaotic, and being attacked on too many fronts. The job of being emperor had become impossible for one person to handle from one city.
So along comes this emperor, Diocletian, and he has this totally radical idea, the Tetrarchy, which just means rule of 4. He split the empire into an eastern and a western half, and then put a senior and a junior emperor in charge of each. This spread out the authority and let them handle multiple crises at the same time. It was a practical move, basically admitting the empire couldn't be ruled as one giant thing anymore.
It was a smart move, for sure, but it had this one massive, permanent consequence. While it saved the empire for a little while, Diocletian's division basically cemented the split between the Latin-speaking West and the Greek-speaking East. That cultural and political fault line would just get deeper and deeper, eventually creating two totally separate Roman worlds.
So that brings us to the big picture, right? Rome's ultimate legacy. Because even after the Western Empire finally crumbled, its ideas left behind this enduring blueprint for the future. So what did they leave us? Well, the very idea of a republic, where citizens get a say. The principle of checks and balances, to stop any one person from getting too much power. The foundations of our legal codes. Even the model for a big, centralized bureaucracy. These ideas didn't die with Rome. They were just reborn in the governments that came next, shaping the world we're all living in today.
There's a great saying that Rome wrote the laws that still govern us today. And when you start looking for it, you see it everywhere. From the design of our government buildings to the actual words we use in politics. Its structures are still echoing in the halls of power all over the world.
And that's what I want to leave you with, this final question to chew on. The government of Rome itself, the actual institution, fell apart. It collapsed under its own weight. But did its ideas, its political DNA, did they ever really fall? Or do we all, in one way or another, still live in the shadow of Rome?